I wanted to talk about the people that you surround yourself with. Not the people that you don't have a choice over, let's say work colleagues or family, but more your friends or the friend circles. They say that you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. So they end up having a huge, profound influence on you. Now, if those people tend to be quite negative or they moan about things a lot, moan about the traffic, moan about the weather, moan about what he said or she said, etc. That can end up influencing you in quite a negative way. So imagine your friends always talking about things that are just never positive, never upbeat. That has the potential to kind of bring you down. Now imagine all 5 or the 5 people you hang around with the most, in terms of who you choose to hang around with the most, end up being similar. They all end up being quite negative, all end up being quite glib about the environment. That can end up influencing you in a really negative way. I'll give an example. So imagine you're a sports person, let's say you play squash a lot, and you're trying to improve your game. You're trying to become a better squash player. Now, if you surround yourself with squash players that are of the same ability as you, or maybe even a little bit less, let's say they're not as good as you. Now, naturally, you're probably going to win most of those games, so you feel good about yourself in terms of from an ego perspective. However, you're never going to actually improve your game. What you really want to do is find people who are maybe 1 or 2 levels above you, not so far ahead that they wouldn't want to play you because you're just no good and you would never ever beat them, but just a couple of levels ahead. Now, what you tend to find is your game will naturally improve because you're being challenged a little bit more, and you're kind of improving. You're playing different styles, different ways, using different skills, etc. And you do find eventually you will become the same level as the people that you're playing with. Now, in life, it's the same thing with the people that we choose to hang around with. If we hang around with the negative people, it's like playing squash against people who are the same level or below you. You actually sometimes end up going down to their level. You want to find people that are a little bit, just a tad ahead of you, just a little bit above you in terms of their game. So if you're trying to be a business person, someone who's earning a little bit more than you. If you're trying to be an artist, someone who's a little bit better in their artwork. Even if you're just normal, run of the mill, not no particular skill set, but just people who are a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more positive, a little bit more enthusiastic about life. That ends up rubbing off on us. It ends up making our personality, what we talk about, just a little bit better. Because you think about it, the conversations that you're going to be having are going to be a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more positive, just better conversations. That ends up influencing your life. That ends up influencing the way you behave, the way you kind of interact with people. Now, how do you go about making friends like that? My theory, or the way I've always approached this, is not a theory, it's the way I actually do things, is I pursue friends like how I pursue perhaps a lover, in the sense that if I find someone that I'm attracted to, let's just say if it's a lover I'm attracted to, I kind of want to pursue, I want to have a relationship with them, I would spend time with them, take them out for dates, go to the cinema, go for dinners, etc, etc. Just spend as much time as possible with them. And naturally, if there's a click, etc, you will fall into a great relationship. But to me, friendships aren't much different, in the sense that obviously there's no romance involved, but they might have certain skills or certain attributes that you really admire, or you really like, you really want. So you pursue them, you spend time with them, you consciously phone them up a little bit more, you text them that little bit more, not so it's stalkish, not so that it's negative in any way, but just invite them out for dinner a bit more. Maybe you do dinners at yours and call them over, or have a few more phone calls, or spend more time with them. What ends up happening is a natural friendship will form, and it's not seditious in any way. It's not there's no malice, because it's going to be a mutual two-way thing. Friendships are always two-way things, but they will be skills or attributes that you seek, that you find in that person. If you pursue them in that way, they will end up becoming friends naturally. I moved to Bolton 2 years ago, and it was a clean slate. We knew no one here whatsoever, and now I've surrounded myself with some amazing people because I've used these type of principles, and they're all achievers. They're all people who are a notch or two above me in some aspect of life or other. and it's inspiring. It makes me grow further. I just wanted to share that with you today.